Hi there, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, I'm Sandy, and I am going to be working some more on this cute little journal, the little dog who forgot how to bark. I made a video showing how to do a curved spine journal, and I think it's turned out really cute. And so I want to go through and pick some papers, and I'll need to trim a few down. So I have my trimmer here ready. Just wanted to talk a little bit how I go about picking papers and share with you some tips and tricks. So a really fun thing to use are envelopes. And so I always like to try to find some cute envelopes to add in, because they're a great way to instantly have a pocket in your journal. And you can use them where you can have it be a side loading pocket, or you can use this part of the envelope. So envelopes are a great tip. And then I like using book pages. When I'm using a book, I like to try to use, if not the whole story, some of the pages from the book. So I'll have some of those. And then I like having pages in my journal that all aren't the same height as the book. So I like to have some that are shorter and some that are taller, some that go all the way, to the edge of the book, and some that stop a little bit short. So I like to have kind of a good mix. And that's like with the envelopes. Like this envelope is a smaller one, so it'll only go to about here. So adding some different heights and different widths adds some interest. So I pulled a couple of time cards. I don't know if I'll use all of these, but you fold it in half, and then you have a cute little page to add into your journal. And then another fun thing are index cards. And these I have, I think I've coffee dyed them. I don't think it's avocado dyed. I'm pretty sure, well, it might be avocado dyed. But anyway, it's either tea or coffee dyed. And again, you can fold these down, and they make great little pages in your journal as well. I also, whenever I can find any sorts of vintage type pages, this one is just some page. I've had it forever, and I think that's a fun page to add also. And then other book pages. So I try to think about the theme of the journal. So if I'm doing like a nature themed journal, then I like to find pages that have flowers or birds or wildlife. And then this one, since it's a children's book, I'm kind of doing it in the theme where I'm pulling in other children's book pages, but I've looked for some that have dogs in the photos, and so I'm going to use a few of these. And these I will probably just fold in half. I don't know if I'll use all of them. You can see some of them are kind of torn, so some of them I might use just to make tags with. So we'll see how that goes. And then music pages are another fun thing that I like to use. And so here I just pulled in a couple different children's book pages. I like this Hey Diddle Diddle, the cat and the fiddle. So I like that it has about a cat, since there is a cat in this story as well. And then the little dog laughed. So anyway, I thought that would be cute. Music pages. And then I have a stash of a few French children's book pages that I received in a Happy Mail with a French pen pal. And I've been hoarding them, but I thought I'll go ahead and use this in this journal. I might have to trim it down a little bit. It might be a little bit tall. So I'll have to think about that. And then dictionary pages. This is actually a children's dictionary page. And so this one I'm going to fold in half here. So it'll be a really cute, tall, skinny page in the journal. And then I have just a few more bigger book pages that I will use. And then here's some other children's book pages. Found some with a dog. And then we have some little nursery rhyme pages. And here's just like a little workbook page that I think is really cute. And then this is an ideals page. And I love these dogs. I think that's so sweet. And then I like to have some sort of plain paper in here. And so I might use one of those pages. I have this cute little page. And then I have some other little pages that I pulled that I might use. And then I have some dyed papers, a yellow and a green. And then I kind of looked through my stash and look, this paper, these are little dog prints and paw prints and the flowers. And I feel like the colors, they go pretty nicely with the fabric and the cover. And then this side, so cute. And then we have this one here. And then on this side. And then we have this cute one with all these different dogs on here. And then the back. So, and then I'm not sure if I'll need this one or not, but I pulled this one in. I think that's a pretty green as well. So those are some of the pages that I've pulled. I don't know if I'll use all of them. I'm going to do 3 signatures. So I do like to use a decorative page or scrapbook page as the cover for each of my signatures usually. Sometimes I like to use a book page as the cover of a signature as well. So we'll see what I end up doing on this one. And then I like to alternate some plain pages with some decorative pages and vary the heights and the widths of the pages as we go through the journal. So I am going to kind of tidy up my desk, and I'm going to start by cutting down some of the bigger pages to get them down to the right size. So let me just pull all these and pile them back up. And with the decorative paper, another nice thing to do is to make pockets. And I need to do some measuring. I'll get my trimmer here. So the height of this cover is right at just a smidge over 8 inches. So I want my pages to be shorter than that. So I'm probably going to go ahead and just do 7 3/4. I think that'll be the tallest. And then anything else will be shorter than that. And then, so the cover itself is just a little bit over 6 inches. But with the curved spine, it does give us a little bit more, especially that middle signature. 6.5. I'm going to start with 6 and see what that looks like, since these pages are 12 by 12, and we'll see how that looks. So 7 3/4, and I think I'll go ahead, let's see. So a lot of times I like to just take and fold these up to make them into pockets. But I don't usually like my first page to have a pocket. So I think with this, so those are some things you have to think about. Like with this one here, you could easily fold this over and then you'd have some pockets on this side. But with these, since they have directional prints on them, if you fold these over, then those are going to be upside down. So I think what I'm going to do instead is cut these off and then I'll just glue them or sew them onto the back side. So being able to fold them over definitely kind of helps save a step if you're able to do that. But when there's these directional designs, that makes it a little tricky. So I'm just going to cut off this little banner piece there. And then I want to do 7 3/4. I'll see if that's too tall or not. Let's see. No, I think that'll be very nice. Yeah, that'll be good. Okay, so 7 3/4, and then I do want to fold this just to see. If that's gonna look okay in here. Yeah, I think that'll be fine. Yeah, so if I want to add like some trims, some lace along the edges, yeah, I think that'll be good. So 6 inches, and if some of them are a little bit more than 6 inches, honestly, I think that'll be okay. All right, so that looks really cute. And then these will be my pockets on the inside, but it's still a little tall. So I'm gonna, this is, yeah, so it's a little bit over 4 inches. So I'm actually gonna cut them down. I like about a 3-inch pocket. I think that'll be good. Yeah, that looks nice. And I'll have to decide. I think I'll probably cut them and make them separate, just because then the page will fold a lot nicer and neater. Okay, so let's do the next one. And so these other two, I'm going to do the exact same way, because they are going to be the, you know, the cover. I want this to be the outside of the next signature. So to fold that up, I'm going to do the same thing and cut this off. Do 7 3/4. And then we'll make this 3 inches. And you want to keep these because we could still do, we could pot, this one it might be, well, we could use this side. So we could still do some sort of like belly band or something. So don't throw those away just yet. And this paper, when I figured out, I mean, maybe those aren't little paw prints, but this paper pad did, it was a dog and cat themed paper pad, so it made me feel like that those were paw prints, but maybe they weren't. So we have cover, and we cut that down to 3 inches. Okay, so I'll go ahead and prep this one just in case I want to use it. But most likely I won't. So 10, I think I want this to be 10 3/4, so then I could have a 3-inch pocket. Yeah. 10 3/4. And then at 3 inches, I am going to score this. Let's see, I want it to fold, yeah. So I find this a quick and easy way to score something. So you have the score line there. So we have these pockets, or this page with pockets, if we decide to use it. Okay, so those are going to be the covers of my signatures. And like, so these pages, I'm not going to have to do anything to them. They should fit, yeah, just fine. So these, the envelopes, I'm not going to have to cut down. And these pages, I'm not going to have to cut this down. Not going to have to cut those down. Let's see about this page. Okay, so this page is too big. And what I think I'll do is I'm going to trim along the border. I might have to use my scissors. Some of these older pages, they just tear on a paper trimmer. So that's something to be aware of. So then you'll just have to, you can either use scissors or grab your ruler and tear along your ruler. Whatever works best for you. And then I'll need to cut a little bit off the bottom here. So then I just take my pencil and I'll just mark down here. And I can't cut a straight line to save my soul, so I just do the best I can. I mean, these are junk journals, right? So, and like this isn't really straight right here. So I am going to continue going through each of these pages and trimming them down, and then I'll come back and show you the next step. I have cut the papers down to size, and I've taken my first pass at putting and organizing the papers. I like to put them into piles of plain paper, small paper, book pages, music pages, the scrapbook paper, and then I kind of go through and start putting them into the signature. So like I said, I start with the scrapbook page, and I still have to add the pockets onto here, and I'll do that later. And then I'll do the book page, and then I'm adding a couple of the smaller height-wise book pages in here just to add a little bit of variance and some interest. And then we have a good journaling page, we have the envelope, and then we have a music page, and then we have a short page, so it's the right height, or the height of the journal, but it's not as wide. And then we have another plain page. It's like to alternate plain pages with decorated pages, whether they're book pages or other types of ephemera pieces. And here's the French page, and it's so pretty. And then you have this side where you can do some decorating. And then this is the back side of the signature. So it all flows pretty well, nicely together. And then we have this back side. And then for this one, I love this, is so cute. And then I like the pink with the pink over here. That's cute. And then again, we have some more of our writing pages, then a book page, an envelope, and then a book page. And then this is great to do some journaling on. And then another book page and a writing page. And then this cute little image for the center of the signature. And then the back side. So I just kind of play around with the pages and move things around till I'm happy with it, like it's pleasing to my eye. And then I think that'll work well. And then I like the green with this yellow and green. And then we have an envelope, and then another writing page, and then a book page, and then a couple short little pages, and then a dyed paper, a music page, a fun little school book page, and a nursery rhyme page. And then here's the back side of the signature. So there's an endless amount of ways that you can put pages into your signature, and there are no rules. So anything goes, whatever is pleasing to your eye. So I had a few extra here that I ended up not using, and there are 10 to 11 pages. Like this one has 10, I think this one has 11, I think this one has 10 in it. So I think that's a good amount. And then they'll go in here like this, and you can see it's not very full at this end, so I definitely will still have some room to do some decorating. But I think that turned out really nicely, so they'll kind of sit most likely like right about like that. So I think that'll be good when I add any like pom-pom trim or some lace trim, some ruffles down the edges. That'll look nice. It'll peek out a little bit, but I think that looks really cute so far. So I did a video on sewing buttons and sewing the signatures into a curved spine already. So I'm going to do that off camera for this one, but I will link that video so you'll have that. But I am going to put buttons on this one as well. And then, so I'll do that off camera, but then I'll come back and I'll do a little bit of decorating with you guys, some pockets and things like that. All right, thank you all so much for watching, and I am really excited how this is coming together. I think it's so cute. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.